Allie.
Hey, Solomon, how are you?
Good. So, Allie, today we're talking about the no pressure prospecting.
Yes.
That sounds like something.
Prospecting call. Yes.
Okay, yes, that's something that I could use. Let me tell you, prospecting is not easy. It doesn't come easy for anyone, unless you're probably a sales trainer, right?
Right.
So, tell me more about it, because every single person that is in business or in sales could use this.
Okay.
All
So
right.
I'm going to take a step back.
Sure.
First things first, I think the most important thing to focus on is the behavior. So prospecting, like you just said, is something no one ever wants to do. Just pick up the phone and start calling, start doing that behavior. And then to me, other things will follow suit. But with that being said, you and I met through Sandler training. And
Right.
one of the things that Sandler provides is called the no pressure prospecting call. And it's going to break down that 30-second intro that you have with someone. Now, the first thing that you'll usually open up with a lot of times is you'll say, "Hi, how are you?" And instantly people are going to be defensive. They know that you're probably doing a cold call. Something that Sandler teaches us is to do something called a pattern interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be, "Hi, my name's Allie with ABC Company." Let that awkward silence sit for a minute. And then the pattern interrupt is going to be something like, "Hey, it sounds like you don't know what company I'm calling from. Maybe let me take 30 seconds of your time to tell you why I'm calling." That's a mini upfront contract. That's the next step, is asking, "Hey, can I take 30 seconds of your time? I'll tell you why I'm calling, and then you can decide if we should have a further discussion." Following that, so now we've got your pattern interrupt, the mini upfront contract, then you're going to do your 30-second commercial. A lot of times this is where people throw up and
Show up and throw up. So what's a 30-second commercial?
To me, the 30-second commercial, you're going to tell people the solutions that you solve. You're going to touch on pain points. So typically we're working with, mid-sized companies and managers who are frustrated. You're using those pain words because they can't manage their time well.
Right.
We're working with companies who are worried because they're not hitting their sales goal on a timely manner. Anything along those lines, and it's gonna all relate to the business that you're working with. So you're gonna find those pain points that you solve on a regular basis, and you give them just a short clip of, "Hey, here's usually who we're working with and how we're helping them."
And I know you had one, Allie. I'm not sure if you can share. You would be making for us like an example one that we shared that. Don't know if you have it, but that was pretty darn good, is what I was saying.
I think I have it. I got to find it.
We work with small and medium-sized businesses that are frustrated by the results of their marketing campaigns or not being able to generate qualified leads, with something along those lines. But we can just kind of go on from there. It's fine.
Yep.
We work with small and medium-sized businesses that are frustrated by the marketing results or the inconsistency in marketing results. Is that something that, I suppose you don't have anything like that in your organization, right? There was an "I suppose."
Yep. So it would be something along the lines like, "I don't suppose that's something that you resonate with," or "I don't suppose you know somebody who struggles with these issues. Maybe you can help connect me to them."
Right person.
Or maybe we should have a further conversation about this.
Right. Simply asking them the permission to give them the 30-second pitch. And then at the end of it, asking them, "I don't suppose you have these challenges, do you?" No pressure. Because you can say yes, you can say no. Maybe the person wants to talk, maybe the person doesn't want to talk. You're just simply trying to see. And I believe that the purpose of that call is not to close or anything. It's to see if we can schedule another call to even go a little bit deeper than the first call.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think the purpose of the call really is to see how, maybe some of those pain points you mentioned is something that resonates with someone. And usually people are willing to, "Hey, that actually does happen." You can ask some other questions if they're willing. And if not, you move on to the next prospect. But at least you are trying to stand out from everybody else that's doing the same thing, prospecting into that business.
Now, do you have any tips on what someone who like me haven't done that or won't do that on a daily basis? Like, where do we begin? I guess it's the behavior. Just start making connections, building that, and then seeing how you can improve on that.
I think making connection or start start just picking up the phone and calling. But I also think, working on a talk track, something that fits you and is comfortable. Each phone call you do it, the better you're going to get. Really understanding the pain points that you solve,
Correct.
those pain points that you're going to solve for a company, so that when you're talking to someone, it's coming across authentic and, it makes sense to you and to them that, hey, this guy really adds value to a company and here's what I do.
Correct. And at the end of the day, you wouldn't call somebody unless you could truly change their business, right? You know them, you've found their information, you know who the decision maker is, you're making that initial contact. You already know so much about them, so it should be a natural thing because you've done your research, not just going from phone number to phone number to phone number. You've actually opened up their site, looked at their Facebook or whatever it is before you make that contact. I think having a little bit of time to do research before you do that definitely will make it easier from like you said, a talking point.
Yeah, I definitely think the purpose of this call was the no pressure prospecting call. And the big piece of that is having the tools so that you can plan your calls. And it doesn't have to be extensive. You don't have to take all morning, but, getting into work 10 minutes early to just kind of plan out, hey, all right, here are some talk tracks, or today I'm going to work on my pattern interrupt when I'm making these cold calls, or today I'm going to work on my 30-second commercial and tweak it so it's perfect. So you do that for 5 days, and by the end of 5 days, you've got the perfect introduction, prospecting call, and you're going to get rejection, but you're also going to get some success with it too.
That's what we're going to do for the next 5 days, Allie.
All right.
We're going to perfect the pattern interrupt. All right.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
No, I don't think so. I think this is a really good, just keep trying, understand when you're calling people during this time that you're just calling to really have a conversation and see if they're interested to have another conversation. Make those connections.
That's simple. And let me tell you, we think it's a very difficult thing, but when you actually do it, people do say yes. I've done it. I've literally closed deals through it, and I'm still surprised how I did it, Bill, by the way, and that's why I needed sales training. Trust me, I am not a sales rep by any means, but you realize that to sell is human, right? That's what Daniel Pink says. So we all got to do it at some point. So we're selling, or Grant Cardone will tell you, sell or be sold. It's happening, whether you know it or not. Either somebody's selling you or you're selling somebody at the end of the day. So thank you, Allie. I appreciate your time.
Awesome.